Imagine a young woman, a promising nursing student. One day, she packs her car, withdraws cash, lies to her professors about a family death. Her car is found crashed on a desolate, snowy road. 10 minutes later, police arrive. The car is there, locked. But she is gone, vanished into the cold night air. This isn't a movie plot. This is the true, baffling story of Maura Murray, a case that has become one of the most haunting and debated disappearances of the digital age. Our story centers on Maura Murray, a 21-year-old student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. On the surface, she was a bright, driven individual. But in the days leading up to her disappearance, on February 9th, a series of troubling events unfolded. Just days before, she was involved in 2 separate car accidents. On the night of February 7th, she crashed her father's new car. The details surrounding this are hazy, but it added to a growing sense of personal turmoil. On the morning of February 9th, Maura's actions became even more perplexing. She emailed her professors and her work supervisor, claiming a death in the family would keep her away for a week. She then packed a bag with clothes, toiletries, and textbooks. She withdrew $280 from an ATM nearly all the money in her account. She bought about $40 worth of alcohol. Then, she got into her black 1996 Saturn sedan and started driving north. At approximately 7:27 p.m. that evening, New Hampshire morass, car spun out and crashed into a snowbank. A local school bus driver, Butch Atwood, was driving home and stopped to help. He saw Maura, who appeared cold and shaken but uninjured. She pleaded with him not to call the police, claiming she had already called for roadside assistance. This was another lie. Cell service was non-existent in that area. Atwood, feeling uneasy, drove to his home nearby and called 911 himself. A police officer arrived on the scene within 10 to 15 minutes. The car was there. The windshield was cracked and the airbags had deployed. A box of wine was found on the back seat and a red stain, possibly from the wine. Maura's belongings were inside, but Maura Murray herself was gone. She had vanished from a dark, isolated road in the middle of a New England winter, leaving behind a mystery. The initial search was extensive. Police, search and rescue teams, and volunteers scoured the area. K-29 units were brought in, but the dogs lost her scent about 100 feet from the car. This suggested she may have gotten into another vehicle. But whose? Was it someone she knew, or a stranger who happened upon the scene in that brief window of time? The case quickly fractured into 3 dominant theories, each with its own set of compelling arguments and frustrating inconsistencies. Theory 1. She ran away. Proponents of this theory believe Maura was overwhelmed by personal problems, car accidents, pressure at school, relationship issues, and her packed bags, the cash withdrawal, and the lies to her professors. Perhaps she had a tandem driver, someone waiting to pick her up after she staged the accident. But if so, why has she never been heard from again? Why would she put her family through decades of pain? Theory 2. She succumbed to the elements. This theory posits that Maura, possibly disoriented from the crash and fearing a DUI charge, she could have wandered into the dense, unforgiving woods. In the freezing temperatures, hypothermia would have set in quickly. Her body could still be out there, hidden in the vast wilderness, waiting to be found. This explains her disappearance, but not why the search dogs lost her scent on the road. Theory 3. She was a victim of foul play. This is the theory her family fears most. In that critical 10-minute window, an opportunistic predator could have stopped, offered her a ride. The area is remote, a perfect hunting ground for someone with dark intentions. This would explain the scent trail ending abruptly on the road. Over the years, several local individuals with criminal pasts have been investigated as persons of interest, but no concrete evidence has ever linked anyone to Murray's disappearance. The internet has turned Murray's case. A massive online community of amateur sleuths dissects every clue. Podcasts, documentaries, and forums have kept her story alive, but have also generated a whirlwind of misinformation and wild speculation. Maura's father, Fred Murray, has been a relentless force in the search for his daughter. For nearly 2 decades, he has criticized the police investigation, organized independent searches, and fought to keep Maura's case in the public eye, never giving up hope for answers. The disappearance of Maura Murray is a modern mystery, defined by its digital footprint and its agonizing lack of physical evidence. It's a story about a young woman at a crossroads and a few crucial minutes on a dark road that changed everything. Was she running from her life, or did she run into a monster? The questions remain, hanging in the cold New Hampshire air. A haunting reminder of a life interrupted and a case that refuses to go cold.